CertPunch practice round for Ethical Hacking v13, 312-50, 21 questions. Read the prompt, choose the best answer before the reveal, then listen for the exam logic behind it. Let's begin. Question 1 of 21. A red team operator is conducting reconnaissance on a financial organization's infrastructure. While probing UDP port 123, they send NTP queries and receive a list of internal IP addresses and connected host names. The organization is unaware that sensitive network details are exposed externally. What is the most likely reason for this information disclosure? Option A, the firewall is rerouting NTP traffic to a honeypot that simulates internal hosts. Option B, the DNS resolver for the organization has been poisoned to leak internal names. Option C, the NTP service is using TCP fallback, allowing enumeration through TCP 443. Option D, the NTP daemon is configured to accept queries from external sources without restriction. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The correct answer is option D. The NTP daemon is configured to accept queries from external sources without restriction. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option D. Exam logic. This is correct because unrestricted NTP queries leak internal host names. The trap is misinterpreting firewall misconfigurations as DNS issues. Question 2 of 21. During a pen test of a Kubernetes cluster, you find a pod running with privileged true and the host PID true flag. Which technique is most effective for escaping to the underlying node? Option A, exploiting a kernel vulnerability via the API server. Option B, scanning for internal node port services. Option C, accessing the host's/proc directory to inject code into a host process. Option D, brute forcing the kubelet certificate. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option C. Exam logic. The host PID true flag allows a privileged pod to access the host's proc directory, enabling process injection onto the node. This is a direct path to root escape, whereas brute forcing certificates is less reliable, and scanning node ports doesn't grant host access. Question 3 of 21. A cybersecurity firm has deployed a comprehensive defense system, including intrusion detection systems, IDS, firewalls, and honeypots, to protect its network from malicious activities. Despite these measures, the security team has noticed suspicious traffic patterns, indicating potential attempts to evade detection and breach the network perimeter. The team is tasked with identifying advanced evasion techniques and strengthening the defense mechanisms to mitigate emerging threats effectively. Given the scenario described, which sophisticated evasion technique, resembling a scenario-based attack, poses the greatest challenge for the security team to detect and mitigate effectively, potentially compromising the integrity of the cybersecurity firm's network? Option A, protocol-level evasion techniques, fragmenting packets to evade stateful inspection by firewalls. Option B, honeypot spoofing attacks, mimicking legitimate network services to avoid detection by intrusion detection systems. Option C, covert channel communication, exploiting unused IP header fields to conceal malicious traffic and evade detection by security devices. Option D, polymorphic malware variants, generating unique payloads to bypass signature-based detection by IDS. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. Option A, protocol-level evasion techniques, fragmenting packets to evade stateful inspection by firewalls. Option B, honeypot spoofing attacks, mimicking legitimate network services to avoid detection by intrusion detection systems. Option C, covert channel communication, exploiting unused IP header fields to conceal malicious traffic and evade detection by security devices. Option D, polymorphic malware variants, generating unique payloads to bypass signature-based detection by IDS. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option C. Exam logic. Covert channels hide malicious traffic within protocol fields, making it invisible to traditional IDS and firewall inspection. This is more challenging to detect than polymorphic malware or protocol fragmentation, which are more easily flagged by signature-based systems. Question 4 of 21. An attacker successfully executes a side-channel attack by analyzing the electromagnetic emissions of a specialized IoT hardware device while it processes RSA keys. What is this specific technique? Correct answer: Option A, Tempest, analysis of emanations. Option B, session hijacking. Option C, social engineering. Option D, brute force. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is Option A. Exam logic. Tempest involves analyzing electromagnetic emanations to extract data, which is a classic side-channel technique. The other options are unrelated. Session hijacking, social engineering, and brute force exploit different attack vectors entirely. Question 5 of 21. A multinational company is planning to integrate an IoT-based environmental control system for its manufacturing units worldwide. They engage a cybersecurity team to ensure that the new system remains secure from any potential threats. The cybersecurity team is tasked with identifying the most likely method an advanced persistent threat, APT group, might use to compromise the new IoT-based environmental control system. What is the most plausible attack vector? Correct answer: Option A. The APT group will exploit zero-day vulnerabilities present in the IoT device firmware. Option B. The APT group will perform an encryption-based man-in-the-middle attack between the IoT devices and the control server. Option C. The APT group will infiltrate the network using compromised user credentials. Option D. The APT group will execute a DDoS attack to overload the network and gain control over the IoT devices. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is Option A. Exam logic. APT groups commonly exploit zero-day vulnerabilities in IoT firmware since patches are unavailable, giving them direct system access. Credential theft or MITM attacks require initial compromises, which zero days bypass entirely. Question 6 of 21. A cybersecurity analyst notices that a large number of plaintext ciphertext pairs were used in an attempted attack against a block cipher. The attacker applied statistical analysis to XOR combinations of specific plaintext and ciphertext bits. Which technique is the attacker likely using? Option A, trying every possible key combination. Option B, analyzing grouped input differences in cipher output. Option C, exploiting physical leaks during encryption. Option D, deriving linear patterns from cipher behavior. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is Option D. Exam logic. Linear cryptanalysis is correct because it exploits statistical relationships between plaintext and ciphertext bits to find the key. The other options describe different attacks, like brute force or differential cryptanalysis. Question 7 of 21. You're a security analyst conducting a footprinting exercise for a new client to uncover as much information as possible without direct interaction. Your preliminary investigation using search engines and public databases has provided a significant amount of data about the organization's online presence. You are now considering using Google hacking techniques to find further vulnerabilities. Which of the following could best justify this decision? Option A, Google hacking can help locate potential phishing sites that mimic the client's website. Option B, Google hacking can help discover hidden organizational data from the deep web. Option C, Google hacking can assist in mapping out the client's internal network structure. Option D, Google hacking can help identify weaknesses in the client's website code. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The correct answer is Option A. Google hacking can help locate potential phishing sites that mimic the client's website. Google hacking is often used as an offensive tool, for example, to identify weaknesses in state propaganda. But it's also frequently used by phishers. They use Google hacking to locate potential target websites, such as those with vulnerabilities in code, and then create fake phishing sites that mimic the client. This hacking technique can significantly increase the likelihood of a phishing success. While Google hacking can help discover some data on the deep web, it's not a structured approach for discovering hidden organizational data. Google hacking can also assist in mapping out the client's network, but the focus is usually on external-facing networks. Google hacking can also help identify weaknesses in clients' website code, but its focus is usually on external vulnerabilities, not directly weaknesses in code. The answer is option D. Exam logic. Google hacking finds exposed code vulnerabilities. It can't map internal networks reliably or access the deep web directly, making it less suitable for those tasks. Question 8 of 21. An attacker intercepts a Bluetooth Low Energy (BLE) connection and performs a GAT replay attack. Which of the following would have prevented this? Option A, using a longer pin for pairing. Option B, increasing the Bluetooth transmission power. Option C, changing the device name to hidden. Option D, implementing link layer encryption and using sequence numbers or timestamps. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option D. Exam logic. Link layer encryption and sequence numbers, or timestamps, prevent a GAT replay attack by making each transmission unique and ensuring data integrity, which is the correct defense. Question 9 of 21. A senior executive receives a personalized email with a subject line that reads, Annual Performance Review 2024. The email contains a downloadable PDF that installs a backdoor when opened. The email appears to come from the CEO and includes company branding. Which phishing method does this best illustrate? Option A, email clone attack with altered attachments. Option B, whaling attack aimed at high-ranking personnel. Option C, farming using DNS poisoning. Option D, broad phishing sent to all employees. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option B. Exam logic. A whaling attack targets high-ranking executives with highly personalized and convincing emails, as seen in this scenario where the email impersonates the CEO. Question 10 of 21. In your role as a cybersecurity analyst at a large e-commerce company, you have been tasked with reinforcing the firm's defenses against potential denial-of-service attacks. During a recent review, you noticed several IP addresses generating excessive traffic, causing an unnaturally high load on the server. An inspection of these packets revealed that the TCP three-way handshake was never completed, leaving multiple connections in a SYN-resolved state. The intent appears to be the saturation of server resources without any genuine intent to establish a full connection. Given these details, what type of DOS attack is most likely being executed against the company's servers? Option A, Smurf attack. In this type of attack, a perpetrator uses a network's broadcast addressing to amplify the ICMP echo request packets. However, this doesn't align with the incomplete TCP handshakes noted. Option B, SYN flood. This attack floods a target with SYN requests in an attempt to consume enough server resources to make the system unresponsive, aligning with the high volume of incomplete TCP handshakes. Option C, UDP flood. This attack overwhelms random ports on a remote host with IP packets containing UDP datagrams, but this doesn't explain the high volume of incomplete TCP handshakes observed. Option D, ping of death. This attack sends malformed or oversized ping packets to crash, freeze, or reboot the targeted system, which isn't consistent with the incomplete TCP handshake observed. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option B. Exam logic. A SYN flood attack is identified by a high volume of incomplete TCP three-way handshakes, which leaves connections in a SYN-received state to saturate server resources. Question 11 of 21. You have been hired by a government agency to evaluate Android smartphones' resistance against covert surveillance. During your assessment, you want to demonstrate whether attackers could eavesdrop on sensitive conversations conducted through the loudspeaker without special permissions by exploiting built-in smartphone sensors. Which specific attack technique should you implement to effectively demonstrate this privacy risk? Option A, malicious APK installation and exploitation through Metasploit framework. Option B, tap and ghost attack, leveraging NFC and touchscreen vulnerabilities. Option C, man in the disk, MITD attack, by manipulating application updates. Option D, spear phone attack, exploiting accelerometer-based vulnerabilities. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The correct answer is option D, spear phone attack, exploiting accelerometer-based vulnerabilities. While the other attack techniques are valid for security assessments, spearphone specifically leverages accelerometer-based vulnerabilities to demonstrate how attackers could eavesdrop on sensitive conversations conducted through the loudspeaker without special permissions by exploiting built-in smartphone sensors. The answer is option D. Exam logic. The spearphone attack exploits accelerometer-based vulnerabilities to eavesdrop on loudspeaker audio without special permissions. The other options focus on unrelated attack vectors, like NFC or application manipulation, which are less relevant to this specific sensor-based privacy risk. Question 12 of 21. At DEF Corporation, as you dive deeper into the vulnerability analysis of their multi-tiered web applications, you observe an anomaly. Some encrypted user session tokens appear to be much longer than others, hinting at possible variable encryption strength based on user roles. This inconsistency could expose certain user sessions, especially those with elevated privileges, to cryptographic attacks. Given the intricate nature of the system and the potential implications of a breach, what would be the most appropriate step to mitigate this specific vulnerability? Option A, adopt multi-factor authentication, MFA, for users with elevated privileges to strengthen access control. Option B, rotate encryption keys frequently, ensuring that old keys become obsolete rapidly. Option C, integrate a centralized logging mechanism to detect and alert on any irregular access patterns based on session tokens. Option D, implement uniform encryption strength across all user roles, eliminating disparities in session token lengths. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option D. Exam logic. Implementing uniform encryption strength eliminates variable token lengths, ensuring consistent protection against cryptographic attacks. MFA, key rotation, and logging are good practices, but don't directly address the core cryptographic vulnerability. Question 13 of 21. In a Kubernetes environment, what is the purpose of a sidecar container from a security perspective when implementing a service mesh? Option A, to store logs in a local text file. Option B, to increase the CPU usage of the pod. Option C, to provide MTLS, mutual TLS, and fine-grained traffic encryption between microservices. Option D, to serve as a backup if the main container fails. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option C. Exam logic. A sidecar container provides MTLS and fine-grained encryption between microservices in a service mesh. Options A, B, and D describe unrelated functions, like logging, performance, or redundancy. Question 14 of 21. You work as a network security officer for a large corporation. Recently, you've noticed that certain confidential files are being accessed by unauthorized users within the network. You suspect that a man-in-the-middle attack is being carried out. Which of the following network activities would help you confirm this? Option A, a sudden increase in network traffic. Option B, multiple login attempts from the same IP address. Option C, detection of abnormal amounts of DNS requests. Option D, IP addresses being resolved to multiple MAC addresses. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The correct answer is option D, IP addresses being resolved to multiple MAC addresses. Choose the best answer. A monitoring or other system observing changes in IP addresses with a wide variety of MAC addresses is indicating a sign that an operation is being set up for a man-in-the-middle attack. The answer is option D. Exam logic. IPs resolving to multiple MACs indicate a MIT-UM attack, as one IP should map to one MAC. Other options suggest general anomalies, but not specific MITM behavior. Question 15 of 21. A certified ethical hacker, CEH, is investigating a recent attack on a company's web server. The server hosts multiple domains and uses a web proxy to maintain anonymity and prevent IP blocking. The CEH discovers that the server's document root directory, which stores critical HTML files, is named CertRoot and is stored in the directory /admin/web. The server root, which stores the server's configuration, error, executable, and log files, is also identified. The CEH also notes that the server uses a virtual document tree for additional storage. The server was compromised via a DNS server hijacking attack, where the attacker redirected all requests coming towards the target web server to their own malicious server. Given this scenario, which of the following actions would most likely prevent such an attack in the future? Option A, implementing an open-source web server architecture, such as LAMP. Option B, implementing DNSSEC on the DNS server. Option C, regularly updating and patching the server software. Option D, changing the server's IP address regularly. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option B. Exam logic. DNSSEC prevents DNS hijacking by digitally signing records to prevent tampering. Updating software or changing IPs doesn't stop DNS redirection, and LAMP is unrelated. Question 16 of 21. During a routine security audit at a large financial services organization, the IT team detects severe network latency and recurring bandwidth exhaustion across its corporate WAN links. Upon deeper investigation, they discover that several employee workstations and IoT-connected devices are unknowingly transmitting enormous volumes of traffic to numerous external IP addresses. These devices, all exhibiting similar traffic patterns and command response behaviors, are found to be under the control of a remote botnet operator. The incident raises serious concerns about insider-originated denial-of-service activity that is also affecting external entities. Which type of denial-of-service attack best describes the organization's current situation? Correct answer. Option A. An attack where compromised internal devices participate in a botnet and flood external targets with traffic. Option B. An attack that originates internally and amplifies traffic through spoofed DNS responses to target systems. Option C. An attack that relies on spoofed IP addresses to trick external servers into flooding the victim. Option D. An attack where botnets directly send large volumes of traffic to the target without spoofing intermediary services. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option A. Exam logic. The correct answer describes a botnet-based DDoS, where compromised internal devices flood external targets. Option B is a misdirection to amplify traffic through DNS, which isn't occurring here. Question 17 of 21. While auditing an Azure environment, you find a managed identity assigned to a virtual machine with contributor permissions on a subscription. How can an attacker on that VM exploit this? Option A, by brute forcing the Azure portal login. Option B, by sending a phishing email to the global admin. Option C, by querying the Instance Metadata Service, IMDS, to get a token and then using Azure CLI to manage resources. Option D, by physical access to the Azure data center. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option C. Exam logic. An attacker on the VM can query IMDS to get a token and use Azure CLI to manage resources with the contributor permissions. Option A is invalid, as managed identity has no password to brute force. Question 18 of 21. As a newly appointed network security analyst at a mid-tier company, you have been tasked with assessing the security of the network. As part of this, you need to ensure that your company's network can detect and prevent evasion techniques. You know that one popular evasion technique used by attackers is using packet fragmentation. Which of the following IDS configurations should you implement to counteract this particular technique? Option A, adjusting the IDS to recognize the regular intervals at which fragmented packets are sent. Option B, configuring the IDS to reject all fragmented packets to eliminate the risk. Option C, employing a signature-based IDS that recognizes the specific signature of fragmented packets. Option D, implementing an anomaly-based IDS that can recognize the irregular traffic patterns caused by packet fragmentation. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option D. Exam logic. Anomaly-based IDS detects irregular patterns from packet fragmentation, unlike signature-based methods. Option B is a poor choice, as rejecting all fragments breaks normal network traffic. Question 19 of 21. As a certified ethical hacker, you have been tasked to exploit a security vulnerability on an Android device that uses the latest version of the OS. You found that there's an unpatched weakness in the handling of user permissions in the device, but the device has a fully updated antivirus application installed. What would be the most effective approach to exploit this vulnerability without being detected by the antivirus application? Option A, deploy a payload using well-known exploit frameworks like Metasploit. Option B, use an SMS phishing method to trick the user into granting unwanted permissions. Option C, develop a custom exploit code that uses obfuscation techniques to avoid detection. Option D, use a rootkit to gain control over the device and manipulate its software. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option C. Exam logic. A custom obfuscated exploit avoids detection by signature-based antivirus. Option A is weak because Metasploit payloads are well-known and likely detected. Question 20 of 21. A malware analyst is tasked with evaluating a suspicious PDF file suspected of launching attacks through embedded JavaScript. Initial scans using PDF ID show the presence of JavaScript and /OpenAction keywords. What should the analyst do next to understand the potential impact? Option A, upload the file to VirusTotal and rely on engine consensus. Option B, compute file hashes using HashMyFiles for signature matching. Option C, disassemble the PDF using PE Explorer. Option D, extract and analyze stream objects using PDF Stream Dumper. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option D. Exam logic. PDF Stream Dumper directly examines embedded streams where malicious JavaScript hides. Option A is passive. B finds signatures but not code. And C applies to PE files, not PDFs. Question 21 of 21. As a cybersecurity professional in a growing organization, you are tasked with conducting comprehensive reconnaissance of your own company's digital presence. In addition to using tools like Whois, DNS analysis, and search engines, you are also considering investigating the deep web. Which of the following justifications best supports your idea to explore the deep web for potential risks related to your organization's information? Correct answer. Option A. Search engines don't index the deep web, and there could be non-indexed company information lying there. Option B. Exploring the deep web can help you identify the physical location of potential attackers. Option C. The deep web is a hub for hackers and can help you understand the latest hacking techniques. Option D. The deep web contains a lot of user-generated content, which could reveal insider threats. Choose the best answer before the reveal. Commit to it now. The answer is option A. Exam logic. Search engines do not index the deep web, so information stored there remains hidden. Options B, C, and D are misinformed or irrelevant to passive reconnaissance.